kind of funny. I thought this year would be drastically different. And although it is very different than what my life was like last year at this time, it's still very much the same. Last year was my first year not in my house. I sold my house in July. I packed up my entire house into boxes that fit in a storage unit and back into my childhood bedroom. And it was different. It was something I didn't really expect because I didn't think 2022 would go that way. And then it became possibly living in Florida. And then it became coming back here to Michigan. And now I have a third place I'm living in the last 2 years, not including my parents' house. And it made me realize that what I feel like I'm missing the most with my house and just how my life used to be were the different traditions that I had created. And I didn't even realize what those traditions were, or that they were even traditions, or that they were something I genuinely cared about and wanted to maintain. But it was as I was going to my storage unit and searching through my belongings and the boxes and finding what was the Christmas stuff that I used to be able to access so easily. And then I used to put all these decorations up in the same places every year. And I'm not saying that as a complaint or this is some mundane task that I didn't come to love. And I didn't even realize how much I loved it, but it was just this concept and this idea of tradition and routine. And I lost this last year entirely because I was living with my parents. I was living in Florida and I didn't have any of the stuff with me, and I didn't get to take the time to decorate my different places I was living or use any of these decorations. And now the cool part of this year is that I was able to get that back. Yes, it looked very different, but I realized I would rather take the tradition that I've created of decorating an entire apartment and unboxing all these different things to create what little of a winter wonderland that I could create. I know I don't have the most decorations here, but it's just this time of year and just the magic that is Christmas is something that I didn't realize was so fun to me or so exciting. And even though I'm in a different setting, I just appreciated the fact that I was able to get some resemblance of these traditions back in my life. And I think it just made me realize it made me more cognizant of what other traditions do I hold in my life that have a lot of value to me. I think sometimes we get caught up in how fast-paced life goes and our different routines, that something that's super important to us, that's a tradition, something you do every year, you just can't lose sight of it, because when it's gone, you don't know when you're going to get it back. When I was in Florida, I thought to myself, I don't know when I'll get my stuff down here for Christmas. Or when I was back at home with my parents, I was like, well, they already have their own Christmas stuff. I don't even get to put mine up. It's something small, absolutely, but it's just a tradition I love. And typically this tradition is done with my friends. You'd always have Friendsgiving at my house, and we would then finish our Friendsgiving and put up my tree together and decorate it together. And it was always such a blast. And even though, life changes, everybody gets their own house and they're creating their own traditions. You can't be mad at that. Life changes, but keeping those people in your life is what's important. Sure, what you do every year might be different and it might not be the same, but that doesn't make it less special. That shouldn't take away from the bond you have with those people. And it should just make you appreciate the time you do end up spending together, because you never know when things could change permanently. It's the sad reality of life. So it's just when you have these moments and these opportunities to uphold your own traditions, I think that's what matters most. It doesn't matter how different they might have to be from year to year. As long as you stay true to those traditions and you continue to carry them out, I think that's what makes life so special. You just think about the different times you had with these same traditions, and just because the setting changed doesn't mean the tradition has to change. And even though the people that used to help you uphold certain traditions in your life may be busy or it just might not be the same, the best part about life is it just always seems to work out, where new people come into your life in a way where you're able to create new traditions and new memories, and you just find new ways to appreciate the old traditions with new people. And it just draws you closer to those people. So it doesn't matter how different they may look. At the end of the day, the traditions you create are only going to be as important as you want them to be. So it's up to you to make sure that no matter how different they look, that the heart, the love, the care for those traditions stays the same.